It's knowing that your door is always open and your path is free to walk. It makes me tend to leave my sleeping bag rolled up and stashed behind your couch. It's knowing I'm not shackled by forgotten words and bonds and the ink stains that have dried upon some line. That keeps you in the back roads by the rivers of my memory. That keeps you ever gentle on my mind. It's not clinging to the rocks and ivy painted on their columns now that bind me. Or something that somebody said because they thought we'd fit together walking. It's not knowing that the world will not be cursing or forgiving when I walk around the railroad track and find that you're moving on the back roads by the rivers of my memory, and hours you're just gentle on my mind. Though the wheat fields and the clotheslines and the junkyards and the highways come between us, and some other woman's crying to her mother 'cause she turned and I was gone, I still might run in silence, tears of joy might stain my face, and the summer sun might burn me till I'm blind. But not to where I cannot see you walking on the back roads by the rivers flowing gentle on my mind. I dip my cup of soup back from a gurgling, crackling cauldron in some train yard. My beard a rustling towel and a dirty hat pulled low across my face. Through cup hands round the tin can, I pretend to hold you to my breast and find that you're waiting from the back roads by the rivers of my memories, ever smiling, ever gentle on my mind. It's knowing that your door is always open and your path is free to walk. It makes me tend to leave my sleeping bag rolled up and stashed behind your couch. It's knowing I'm not shackled by forgotten words and bonds and the ink stains that have dried upon some line. That keeps you in the back roads by the rivers of my memory. That keeps you ever gentle on my mind. It's not clinging to the rocks and ivy painted on their columns now that bind me. Or something that somebody said because they thought we'd fit together walking. It's not knowing that the world will not be cursing or forgiving when I walk around the railroad track and find that you're moving on the back roads by the rivers of my memory, and hours you're just gentle on my mind. Though the wheat fields and the clotheslines and the junkyards and the highways come between us, and some other woman's crying to her mother 'cause she turned and I was gone, I still might run in silence, tears of joy might stain my face, and the summer sun might burn me till I'm blind. But not to where I cannot see you walking on the back roads by the rivers flowing gentle on my mind. I dip my cup of soup back from a gurgling, crackling cauldron in some train yard. My beard a rustling towel and a dirty hat pulled low across my face. Through cup hands round the tin can, I pretend to hold you to my breast and find that you're waiting from the back roads by the rivers of my memories, ever smiling, ever gentle on my mind.
Good Friday evening, everybody. Chris McDonald with you on our Friday night, the third day of February 2023. We're grateful that you're with us tonight. We call this McFoolery Friday, a this and that, a little bit of mix of everything tonight, and we're just going to sort of go through a few memes and a few news stories and get out of here on this Friday as we wrap up another week of shows. I tell you, I was updating the... about to update the Telegram room. We were updating the news stories. I know we're going to talk about this spy balloon tonight a little bit and show you some of the funny things that are out there about it tonight. And this country's just gone insane, folks. That's all I can tell you. We've just gone plain out, lost our... As Charles Barkley said, we've just lost our D mind, and that's about the truth of it. But anyway, we're going to have a few laughs with you. We may open the chat up and take a question or two from the chat. We won't make you email them in tonight because we're not going to take a lot. But it's got to be about the country. If you've got a big question about faith, tonight's not the night for that. We're only airing on the E! Network. We will have a this and that and a Q&A probably next week. But I do want to make a couple of announcements about next week. We got a tremendous lineup coming up. We got two brand new guests that will be with us next week. I'm excited about Monday night. Teresa Baxter, who is Mary Catherine Baxter's daughter, and Teresa is carrying on her mom's ministry, is going to be with our special guest Monday night, our special faith guest. It'll be a McFiles Monday Night Faith Special. Tuesday night, we got William Federer. We're going to talk about the country and some other issues Monday night or Tuesday night. John McTernan, the author of the book As America Has Done to Israel, and we're going to be talking to him Wednesday night about Russia and Israel and how this anti-Semitism is increasing in the country and what that bodes for America, and etc. And then we've got a brand new guest Thursday night, Dr. John Thomas. And if you've not heard of John, don't feel bad, I hadn't either. But I want to thank Stephen and Layla Moore for sending me a heads up. And we talked to John today. And he's been on the front line fighting against the pineapple cake. And he's going to be with us Thursday night. It's going to be a different perspective. He's a frontline doctor. He's been out there in the field fighting it. And we were talking a little bit today. And I like the guy. He's a little bit older than me, but he's good. And I'm excited to have him next week. And then Friday night next week, Lord willing, we'll be back. And we'll probably do our Q&A next Friday night and take your faith questions. And we may do a doubleheader one night and do a Q&A late. Sometimes we do these late shows and we get more of an audience at midnight than we do at 9. So you West Coast folks, y'all really show up for these late nighters. And all you insomniacs out there that can't sleep like me. So we usually have a bigger crowd late night than we do in the regular show. So, it is what it is. I do want to just say thank you all tonight for being with us this week. It's been a good start to the year. one thing I love about our show, you can't stereotype it. There are some weeks that we just go with the flow, and we go everything we try to do, and I do this sincerely. I try every night to get the mind of the Lord and figure out who He wants on this show. And not every single guest is faith, but even our non-faith guests, I ask the Lord about before I bring them on. I do, because I don't want anybody on here that's going to destroy the integrity of the show and say a bunch of weird, crazy, wild, nonsensical, dumb foolery. I should have put my dumb foolery shirt on tonight. I may have to do that. I may have to, take a commercial break and go get my dumb foolery shirt. But we try to do as best we can to get you guests that encourage you. They don't bore you to death. We don't want them to bore you to death. Tony Branco was great last night. I just had a good time talking to Tony Branco. But we've really had a good start to the year, and we've had some great guests, a few new ones, but some old standby folks that have been with you last year, and they're going to be back with us this year. But we're trying to get some new blood in, and we're excited about the possibilities of some people I can't really say right now because they're waiting to give me an answer to when they can come and if they can't. But it's going to be a good year. It's going to be a good year on the McFiles, and we're going to get out to see you guys out there in the field again sometime this spring. It's a little chilly to do it right now. But I do appreciate all of you. And again, for most of you that know, our show is 5 years. We're 5 years old, and we're going into our 6th year. And people come, people go, and the best stay. And we've still maintained an audience. I was talking to my dear buddy Eddie Cole. I don't know if he's listening tonight. He was telling me today at lunch that he listens to the show sometimes, and I hope he is tonight. He's just a dear friend and a dear brother. Eddie and I have known each other since 2015, and I guess this last year and a half I've come to really appreciate my friendship with Eddie. He's recorded all our Christmas music, with the exception of 2 projects. Eddie has recorded all of our Christmas songs. And done such a wonderful job mixing. He's a great guy. He used to mix for Charlie Pride and other great country music stars. He's not some novice at this. I do want to say this tonight. Please pray for him. We'll mention him again Sunday night on our Face show. But he's going through some hard issues right now, and I'm very concerned about him. I really am. And if he was sitting beside me, I could hear him. I could almost hear Eddie Cole's voice in my ear right now. He says, "I'm concerned about me too." So he was sort of saying, I can almost see that face and that smile and laugh, because that's how he would say if I said I'm concerned about you. He said, "I'm concerned about myself too," and he would probably add a few words to it. But prayers for my buddy. And we're going to actually be working on a little gospel project, side project next week with some tracks and things like that. And I'm looking forward to that. But be in prayer for him. I feel led to ask you to do that tonight. He's not doing well. Heart got damaged. Evidently had a heart attack back in December. Didn't even know it. And it took a good punch to his heart. And he's not doing well. So please pray for him. And it was good to see him today at lunch. Also good to see Dave and Shelley Wingard. Last couple of nights, just appreciate that couple. They came up and saw us and had dinner. And thank you for the dinner tonight. And you guys are great. Good to see you. Good fellowship. So we've had some great fellowship. Had great fellowship last weekend in New Jersey. And precious people up there. A lot of precious people up there. And we're going to be back out. You can't keep a good man behind a desk and behind a chair in front of lights. Got to get out there and see you in person. And we're going to do that this year as we get further. All right, now, don't have a lot of time tonight. I'm not going to keep you 3 hours. Famous last words, but we're not going to keep you 3 hours tonight. It's very chilly here in Tennessee. Get down to 21 tonight. Woo! But I understand it's colder in some parts of the country. So you guys stay warm out there. I do want to just tell you what's going on. This is the craziest thing today. When I think we can't get any more cray-cray and we can't get any more stuff go on in this country that just makes your head shake and make you pull a Ken Henderson. Kerry Henderson will appreciate that comment. But we have this go on today, and I know some of you have heard about it. Some of you may not have heard about it. But it seems that our enemy, China, has been flying a spy balloon over the country today. And there's the map right there. That is a picture of the NOAA model of the spy balloon. They spotted it first in Billings, Montana, and that trajectory right there is how it's going. It looks like it come over portions of my state earlier, and the interesting thing about those dots is that they are all strategic air bases of the country. And Blinken, which rhymes with blanking, it is McFoolery Friday. Blinking, which rhymes with blanking, is canceled a trip that he was going to make to China because of this. Donald Trump has chimed in on it, and he has basically told the country, shoot the thing down. But if Trump was in office, I got a feeling that this would be what he would do to the balloon. There's a picture of it. Eric, he's speaking of Smallwell. Happy Valentine's Day. Love, Fang Fang. Now, for those of you that don't get that joke, Eric Smallwell, who's off the Intel committee now, as Adam Bullshift is, and Omar is melting down tonight because she's been kicked off the Intel committee. All those committees that these Dems were on, these crooked Dems were on. Fang Fang was his Chinese lover. So if Trump was in office, I believe that's what he would do. And I think so. But folks, this is the trouble. Look, it's hard to be McFoolery on Friday night when you have serious stuff like this. This is serious. Now, the Chinese position tonight is that they are there to... You got to love these Chinese. You just got to love these Chinese. They're claiming that this balloon is a weather balloon. And they're monitoring the weather over our country by sending a spy balloon over our Air Force bases from Montana down to Nebraska, down to Missouri, down to my state, and over into North Carolina. Things going out in the ocean. They're saying this thing will be over the country for 4 days. So today's the 3rd, so it's going to be here all weekend, 6, 7, till Tuesday of next week. Shoot the thing down. But no! 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 Not Joe Biden. Joe Biden today. Whoops, that's another meme. I'll say that for a minute. That was the most funny meme of the day. Joe Biden don't want to shut it down or shoot it down. In fact, he don't want to do anything about it. And it's very, 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 very troubling. I know what I was doing. I just kept wondering where did all my memes go. Here they are right here. Let me extract these. Because I had a whole bunch. I said, what did I do with them? And here they are right here. So let me tell you a little bit of what Joe Biden is saying about this tonight. Let me put one of these up. Hang on just a second. Well, maybe not. Maybe I don't have them here. But anyway, Joe Biden is basically saying that he has no comment about it. He would not take questions today about it. But this is from today. Caitlin Collins basically tweeted this out. He was briefed on this suspected Chinese high-altitude surveillance balloon and requested options per a senior administration official. But his lovely generals, Austin and Miley, imbeciles, and others, imbeciles, recommended strongly that they are not to pursue kinetic action. I don't even know what that word means. Kinetic action, and the president took their recommendation. That is South Georgia terminology for we're going to sit on our arses and we're going to let the Chinese spy on us from Montana to Tennessee for 4 days. So, all I got to say is get your cell phones out and take some selfies for the Chinese and smile, because they're going to be coming to a city near you. There's the trajectory of it right there. That's how they're going to fly that balloon. That's not a joke right there. That's an actual NOAA high-split model of where that balloon is headed. There have been several pictures of it. Now, we got a website, and we tell folks all this, McFiles, themacfiles.org. We posted 5 or 6 articles, maybe 7 articles about this on the Telegram room. And so anyway, it's there. You can see all that. No, it's not a Trojan horse, Julia. It's not a Trojan horse. I'm going to read some of the comments about this. It's not. It's not. I don't believe it's a Trojan horse at all. It's a real thing. It's a real threat, folks. It's a real threat. Foot on the Rock says those Minutemen missile sites I worked on when I was at the Air Force, they take them down a minute. Let me ask y'all a question tonight, since we're interacting with the chat. And Julia, I understand your point, but it's not a Trojan horse. I don't believe this is a distraction. These Chinese would not do this. This is my question to y'all tonight. Do you think that if Trump was in office, that the Chinese would do this? And Carol Smith is right. They're laughing at us. Roberta says they know exactly what they're doing. That's exactly right. Rosemary says bring it down so we can find out what they're up to. Rosemary, we don't need to be bringing it down to know what they're up to. We don't need to blow their balloon out to know that. We already know what they're up to. But I can tell you right now, Trump would not have put up with this. Trump would not have put up with this. He just would not have put up with this. And Julia, you're right. The Trojan horse was a real threat, but the Trojan horse conceals something. That balloon is not even concealing anything. It's beyond words that a foreign country is allowed to fly a spy balloon over a country, and there not be any kind of attempt to blow it out of the sky. And William, I probably murdered your name. He says, we can't have a helicopter or jets to hook it to retrieve it to capture the device. Well, probably not, because I tell you what would happen. What would probably happen is you'd have an international incident, but your point is well taken. Gloria Garcia says, what are Republicans saying? Well, the Republicans are raising hell about it. The governor of Montana is raising hell about it. There's others people that are raising hell about it. Rubio's out there trying to shoot it down. But folks, none of these Republicans are the commander-in-chief. And none of the Republicans are over the White House. So you can't put this on the Republicans and expect them to do anything about it. They really ultimately can't do anything about it. Unless somebody's got a high-powered slingshot and boom! And take a high-powered slingshot to it. I think I'm gonna. If I was president, I would give this job to Ken Henderson. I think Ken Henderson would be a good one to do that. Now, Tia Z says, what if they're releasing some kind of biological thing on us, Tia? I know that question is out there, but I want to tell you something. There was an article tonight that the Japanese, I'm glad you brought that up, Tia. That's interesting. That is an interesting take on what you just said, because I want to show you an article, and I think it was in Gateway Pundit. The China claims it's a civilian airship researching the weather tonight. But TZ, you've got a very interesting statement, and I want to take a minute, if I can find that article. And I thought I copied it, maybe I didn't. Probably didn't. Like Chris should have copied it, but I didn't. But the Japanese folks back in World War II, they basically were threatening to use a air balloon to release. And there was a fear, I'll put it like this, there was a fear that the Japanese were going to do that and release some kind of agent into the air. Now, are they going to do that, Tia? I don't know. But the question is not without merit. And I will tell you this, there is, and It's a concern. It's a concern. It's a concern. And I would not put these Chinese against anything. Look, folks, if they'll weaponize the virus, think about this. If the Chinese did what they did with the pineapple cake, and you've got political people in this country that weaponized the virus, I wouldn't put nothing past these people. I wouldn't put nothing past these people. Food on the Rock says Trump wouldn't allow Russia to have ships off our east and west coast now either. He would not. Food on the Rock, Don, he sure wouldn't. I'll agree with that. Totally agree with that. There was a precedent set to you. Yeah, they were concerned about that. They were concerned about that back in World War II. But again, I'm not saying that's what they're doing. But I will tell you this. Your question is not without merit. I've thought about that. Cleo says wouldn't have gotten into the U.S. airspace, let alone Montana, if Trump was in office. Totally believe that. Totally believe that. There was an explosion. I do want to say this, and we don't know if this is if they've shot it down or not, but there is this happened about 7 o'clock tonight, a couple hours ago. I'm going to put this article up because there's possibility they may have shot this thing down. This is a breaking story right now, so I mean there's a lot of things happening on the ground, and we're on here at 9:30 at night Eastern. But this is the Gateway Pundit. And you can see the story. There's been an explosion over Billings. Military helicopters have been activated. Montana governor weighs in. Video shows trails of smoke in the sky where the balloon was last spotted. And this is Heidi Hatch of KUTV. And they've captured video. So this very well could be the China balloon being blasted out of the sky, which should have been blasted before it even got to this point. So that very possibly could be the balloon. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'm sure that this is the developing story. The headlines will pick it up. And then there's another video. And see, Dolly Moore says, I saw a jet go by so fast, an explosion in the sky. So perhaps they've done it. Perhaps they've done it. And Bill Mulligan of Fox LA, unclear what it is, but something apparently just happened in the skies over Billings, Montana. That looks like something's headed down to the ground there. So we'll see. We'll keep you posted on that tonight. But again, folks, the bottom line is, and all your points are valid about this tonight, without a doubt. All your points are valid. It should have never gotten to this place. They should have never been allowed to get in airspace. So to me, it's a little too late. And you know, look. This kind of stuff would not be happening if you had a leader in the White House. It just wouldn't. It just wouldn't. I can tell you this: if President McDonald was in the House, it wouldn't have happened. They would not be messing with the United States of America like that. They just wouldn't do it. Now, of course, that's why Mr. McDonald is not president, because we're probably in World War III right now. But we'd be safe. Roberta says Chinese have a station in New York City, supposedly to check on Chinese nationals. I don't agree with that. Carol Smith, is this the first time they did this? You know, Carol, I would say no. I would say no. I'm sure they've done it before. I think this is the only time that they've done it that we've probably heard about it because somebody in the news media picked it up, or you know, it's an interesting thing. I mean, somebody evidently probably saw it. I can't answer that. I don't think so, but I don't think it's the first time they've tried it. I'll put it like that, Carol. I'll say that. I don't think it's the first time they've tried it. This time they just got away with it. Anyway, Jenny says we need a strong leader with some kahunas. I'll give you that one. Good to see everybody tonight on the McFiles McFoolery Friday. This is sort of a wrap-up show for the week like we've been doing. And anyway. All righty, now. Let me see here if we can get a few funny things. Here is that balloon up close. That is the balloon, what it looked like. And again, this was over Billings, Montana earlier this afternoon. That's what it looked like from the sky. It looked like, a white, looked like a balloon, actually, and so forth. But that was it right there. And let's see here. But we will monitor this. And if there is something that we can report, we'll put it on the Telegram room over the weekend. I'll just leave it at that. And you can follow it there. I wished I'd have had maybe Brad Johnson on the phone. He probably is following this. He knows about these Chinese. We may get Brad on the phone for a quick, short interview next week to talk about this and get his take on it. Eric left for the Africa continent of Uganda tonight. Please pray for him. But we will talk with our intel people. Now, we got speaking of that, a week from Monday night, we've got another new guest, James Reamer. He is a CIA analysis as well. Him and Brad are good friends. Brad introduced me to him. And he's a man of faith, but he's going to come on, and I'm sure he'll have a lot to say about this. So we will have people on in the next week or so to talk about this incident a little bit more, that above Chris's pay grade, that understands the situation probably more than I do tonight. I'm just here to chit-chat with you about it. Chris is not an expert on China. So we'll get people on here that are an expert on China. And anyway. Not the first time they've used balloons, Julia. That's very true. All right, now let me get on with the memes tonight. This is a McFiles McFoolery. This is where we sort of make light of the foolery, the dumb foolery in the nation and some of the church. We're not here to offend. This is to make light. This is to make light of things. So if you've got a offendable feather in your cap tonight, it might be good to take it out or hide the kids and hide the adult children as well. But anyway, I know you heard about this. The groundhog saw a shadow yesterday, 6 more weeks of winter, and Poxitani Phil emerges from his narrow burrow to let everyone know that there are some marked classified documents down there. And the FBI is on the way. But no worries, because Joe Biden is showing off his new electric car. And that car can hold 17 boxes of classified documents. I love these Babylonian Bee people. I don't know who these folks are, but they are good. They are good. This is what we call fighting the war by memes. Meme war. This was the quote of the freaking year already. Did you hear what he said today? You just got to love our president. Quote. This is a quote. This ain't a meme. He actually said this. But he said today that more than half the women in his administration, are women. That's not something to be bragging about, Mr. President. Some of you are going to catch this, what he's saying there. It'll hit some of you in a minute, what he's saying there. I'm going to say that again. More than half the women in his administration are women. Smoke up, Johnny. Exactly right, Sandy. Some of you are going to catch that, what that's really saying right there. I'll let that sit for a minute, because some of you are slow out there. Rosemary says, what are the other half? Rosemary? That's not, and Ken, you saying he's brain dead. Let me tell you what he's saying there, folks. He ain't brain dead. No, what he's telling you is that you got half the people in his cabinet that are half men and half women. So there, Kevin's got it. Kevin just got it. He got it. Somebody else is getting it. Somebody else is getting it. You'll get it. What he's telling you that all of his women ain't women in his administration. That's what he said. Not a good thing. Not a good thing. And I hate to make light of this, folks. I mean, it's funny, but if you think about it, if you truly think about it, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. It's not funny. I'm trying to be funny tonight, but it's not funny. Because this is your leadership. This is your leadership. This is your leadership. That's your leadership in D.C. Not good. By the way, it's starting already. President Trump has announced his 2024 campaign, and they're already threatening to blow their brains out. Cher wins the First to the Horse Race Award for this. This is her quote a few days ago. If Trump is elected to be the president in 2024, I'm going to blow my brains out. I thought all these celebrities were supposed to have moved out of the country by now. Of course, they came back when the debacle of 2020 happened. But you're going to see more of this as we get into this year, and especially 2024. My statement to share would be you'd have to have brains. Well, I'll let you finish that thought yourself. You would sort of have to have brains first for that to matter. Chris should be I've missed my calling. I should be a comedian. I just flat out should be a comedian. I shouldn't even be a talk show or podcast host. I should just go out on the circuit and be a comedian. I think that'd be a pretty good one. So, Sharon, let me tell you again, you got to have brains to begin with to be able to blow them out. But that's her own word, so all the censors out there, I'm not trying to accuse people of or making people want to do that. Cher says she will do that to herself. That's her own comment. But you got to have brains first to make that work. Hit that button there. Imbeciles. 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 And I told you about Ilhan Omar, where she's upset. She got removed from the Foreign Affairs Committee, and our wonderful representative, who is one of the most anti-Semitic in the world, she blamed her removal on the Jews. Now, the Babylonian Bee was trying to make that a joke. Don't hold your breath and don't be surprised before all this is over with that that's exactly what that anti-Semite is going to say. And a few others out there. But, again, that is one of those borderline, it ain't funny things, but it's, I get what Babylon B is trying to say here, and I get it. Chris smiled about it, but it's not funny. And that's your leadership, but it's good that she's gone. I applaud Mr. McCartney. Hillary Clinton chimed in on the classified document thing. She boasts of having her no classified documents from her time as president. Some of you will catch that. Some of you will catch that one too tonight. Some of you will catch that. Some of them will catch that in a minute. Some of you will catch that in a minute. This is McFoolery tonight, a McFoolery Friday. Some of you will catch Hillary's comment there. All righty, let me see here. This was from Branko last night. This was my favorite cartoon of the year, too. This sums it up right there, folks. That sums it up. That sums up the country right there in one cartoon. Did y'all like Tony Branko last night? Was he good or what? Carla Nicole this week? Wow. Just tremendous stuff. We had Eric here on Tuesday night. Good stuff this week. My goodness. And we got some great guests coming next week. I'm telling you, it's going to be a good week on the McFiles. And we got a couple of new people and really three new guests coming in the next week. So it's going to be a sort of a fresh blood, new blood kind of week coming up in February. And we've had some good shows already. But that was... Sorry. Every time I see this, I have to laugh. We're trying not to make fun of things, but it's hard not to. And that's the truth of it. Our country's in the clinker. I got to tell you this. I said this to you last night. I don't know if Emily Courtney's out there tonight. Little Corbell, God bless her heart. That kid is so sweet. That youngin' is, them Courtney girls are just precious. They are. And whenever I go up there, Chris always brings him a gift, and we were talking, and she was singing. She was singing one of the songs off the CD, and I was just, talking to her, and I said, and I think her mom was saying something, and we were asking her, I was asking her, I said, do you watch Uncle Chris's show? And she said, I do. And I said, really? She said, yeah, I watch it while I'm on the potty. So I'm thinking to myself, well, that's good. That's good. At least she didn't say I do it while I'm throwing up, but that was funny. That was funny to me. I busted out laughing. But this youngin' is precious as can be. And there's her and her mom right there. And I'm going to put that picture up. This youngin' just touched my heart. I'm just like, these 6-year-olds, they just tell you how it is. There she is right there. I was laughing pretty hard at that one. Because I've got a feeling that it probably ain't the only one that's out there vomiting and throwing up watching the McFiles podcast every night. But anyway, thank you, Corbell. But anyway, Joe Biden doing it to the country. Anyway, all righty. Let me get back to my meme attack. My meme attack tonight. Let me see here. Where's my memes at? Now, these are going to be some religious ones, and some of you folks ain't going to like this, so get your feathers out of a wad. By the way, this one is not a funny one, but it's a very serious meme. This is as good as it gets when you sum up the party that is in power in the Senate and the White House. Do you defund the police, energy dependence, not independence, mandates, open borders, cost of living increases, rise in crime, America Last policies, tax increases, and socialism? Put the first word together of all those, guess what you get? You got it. Democrats. Well done, whoever did that. I thought Jason Miller had made that up for a second when I saw that. But that's not Jason, that's somebody else. That's good stuff right there. Speaks for itself. That's why I love these memes. You ain't got to really say a whole lot. You just let the memes speak for themselves, and that speaks for itself. By the way, you folks that voted for the Democrats because you didn't like Trump's tweets, I hope you enjoying your utopia that you've got, which is summed up in that right there. Imbeciles. 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 Let's see here. Anyway, let's see what else we got here. This one's about Paul Pelosi. That's John Krasinski. He says, consider how different the Paul Pelosi assault video was from how the media initially portrayed it. That's how distorted the news is from reality every day. I don't know what went down in that house in California, but that video was creepy. Creepy, creepy. And I guess ultimately, only Mr. Pelosi and the attacker and God himself knows what went down in that house. Nancy was spooked enough about it that she got an exorcist, and this is no joke. This is not McFoolery. This is McFact. Got an exorcist and cast the devil, or tried to at least, out of the Pelosi household after the attack. So, good meme. Good meme. Now, this is some of the foolery in the church, and these will get better in the weeks to come because I will get more on top of this. By the way, this is a funny one for you Cheesecake Factory fans. Due to food shortages, they're cutting their menu down to just 32 pages. If you've ever been to a Cheesecake Factory, you will get that joke. I get the joke. It's funny. They give you a book literally to order from, but it's okay. Due to the food shortages, you just have 32 pages. God regrets writing Sing to the Lord a New Song after hearing the new songs Christians are singing. Very well done. These Babylonian Bee people, I'm wondering if they're faith people because they do a lot of religious memes, and I'm thinking to myself, these people are brave. Brazen, but brave. And I applaud him. He's absolutely right. So they don't leave no stone unturned. It ain't just politicians they go after. They're going after these preachers. Preachers, politicians, and pimps. Preachers, politicians, and pimps. I will leave that one alone for right now. I'll let you draw the parallel. Anyway, after being kicked off, here's Adam Schiff. He's given a seat on the Pencil Neck Committee because he too was kicked off the Intel Committee. Thank you, Mr. McCartney. At least you did something right. We're good with that. We're good with that. Now, some of you are not going to like this one, but I thought it was funny. I won't go into detail with it tonight, but I do understand what they're trying to say. Andy Stanley got into a heated debate this week with the Bible. Let me tell you this. You ain't going to like that, but there's a lot of preachers that are doing the same thing every Sunday in their pulpit. They literally debate the Word of God. They debate the Bible. I'll leave that one to speak for itself. He hosted an LGBTQ event in his church this past weekend. Just out in the public. So, Babylonian Bee, good one. Good one. But they didn't leave Andy alone. They didn't just pick on Andy. They had another good one. If I can find it here, because I don't want to leave the other one undone either, because the other one was just as good. If I can find it. These get better over time. We're just warming up tonight. This is like a warm-up for things to come. This is a warm-up for the McFoolery sessions of things to come. If I can find these memes, I just had every one of them in line, and I can't find what I'm looking for. But I'll find it the second I leave here. You watch what I tell you. I will find it the second I leave here. Give me 1 minute. I tell you what. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I will find it because I've got it downloaded right here. There it is right there. There it is right there. And I will put it up. I will put it up. Hang on just a second. Hang on just 1 second. Just 1 second here. Doggone it. They didn't just leave Andy Stanley out of the way. They left no stone unturned for Joel Osteen. Because Joel saw his shadow too yesterday. And he predicts another year of taking the Bible out of context. Good one, Babylonian Bee. These people are square on. You know, it's a shame, folks. You know, we got about 7 minutes left. It is a shame that the world mocks the church. I don't know anything about the faith structure of the Babylon Bee. I don't know who these people are. I really don't. But it is a shame that they mock the church. They see it. The world out there sees it. You got Christians that don't see it. You've got Christians that applaud this man every Sunday. You got people that applaud Mr. Stanley for hosting that LGBTQ event every Sunday. Now, he don't host LGBTQ every Sunday, but you shouldn't be hosting it any Sunday, Andy. You shouldn't be hosting it any Sunday. Any Sunday. But anyway, just a thought. It's a shame that the world has to mock the church for it to get the church's attention. The church can get angry with the Babylonian Bee, but I'm going to tell you something. We should be calling this mess out as the church, not the world. Just a thought. Just a thought. God created man and woman. Those Democrats and some of the Republicans have created all other genders. By the way, God made Adam and Eve. I would give you the rhyme. You don't have to know the rhyme. You've heard it before. God made Adam and Eve. God made Adam and Eve. Let's see here. A few other ones, and then we're going to wrap this up. This is another good one. The church has installed trapdoors to get the praise band off the stage more efficiently. You go to a church, folks, most churches, that's their worship right there. It's a rock show. Man, these guys are good. I think I understand. Somebody sent me a message. He said he's a Christian, the guy that founded Babylon Bee. We'll see about that. I mean, that's good if he is, but it don't matter if he's a Christian or not. His organization ain't leaving any stone unturned. I like it. I like it. I like it. You guys can understand this one. This is from the Babylon Bee. I did not do this. But Ford has released a new safety feature where the car shuts off. Whoa! Here comes the emails. All new for 2023, the woman-locked Ford car. Hey, they're making electric cars, guys, for God's sake. I mean, come on. So they might as well make this. If a woman gets in the driver's seat. I'm not going to hear the last of that one. That's not Chris's meme. You see that right there? You see that right there? That's the Babylon Bee. You find the article at babylonbee.com. But I thought it was funny. We got one more two here, and then a very serious one or two. I do want to mention that this one's very serious, and this one is not a funny one. Me and John McTurnan are going to talk about this Wednesday night, folks. International Holocaust Remembrance Day was this week. 6 million Jews were murdered simply because they were Jewish. There was an attack tonight in New Jersey. They found the man, they think they found the man that firebombed threw a Molotov cocktail in a Jewish synagogue. Those attacks are tripling by the day and by the hour across the country. Very serious matter. We're going to talk about that. When you see that emblem right there, that's what the Jews were required to wear on their clothing during the purge of Europe Jewry, the Jewish people, to identify them as Jews. Judah, that is a slap at Christ. You realize that that is a short version of Judah. And Satan was literally inspiring Adolf Hitler to take a shot at the Messiah. And Wednesday night, we won't do it this Wednesday night probably because we sort of didn't get finished last Wednesday night, but at some point in the next few weeks, we're going to be dealing with the anti-Semitism roots of the church. And it's going to shock you at some of what some of these church fathers had to say about the Jewish people. A lot of it was rhetoric that Hitler ultimately used to do what he did. Let us never forget this. And you say, well, it would never happen again. Folks, it's coming. The man of sin that's coming is going to make this look like a picnic. And that spirit of Antichrist that is on the earth tonight is an anti-Semitic spirit. Don't forget that. And I'll just leave this alone for right now. I will deal with it and address it on Wednesday night. But I will say this tonight, not to take a shot at anything or anybody, but this letter movement, the roots of it, folks, it's a new form of anti-Semitism. You don't have to like that. You can get upset about that. You can get your political feathers in a wad. You can get your religious feathers in a wad. You can get your baby feathers in a wad. I don't care. It is an anti-Semitic movement. And it's rooted in the same hatred that drove Hitler to do this right here. I'll leave it at that. Now, let me get off the serious stuff. Let me get back to my memes tonight before we wrap this hour-long program up tonight. I love this one right here. I may have already showed this one. Some people believe that when you come in peace that you're not prepared for war. If you believe this is what this show's about, you pick the wrong show. Because we're here to fight. We're here to fight. But we're here to fight the right way, and we're here to fight in love, but we're fighting for those we do love. You know, I remember seeing something many years ago that when you're truly fighting for the right thing, you're fighting for those behind you. You're fighting in front of those behind you that you're trying to protect. And I believe that's our spirit, our attitude here. We fight for those of you that are in this room tonight. We're not just picking these fights and skirmishes with no reason, but we're dealing with things that we believe are hurting people and people need to be aware of. Now, what people do with that information is up to them, but we will never stop doing that because we are coming in peace, but we are prepared for war. And we're fighting for the right thing, and that's you. And I'll have to find that meme. Maybe next Friday night we'll put that up. All right. Now, a couple of more. These are funny. I'll get back to the funny ones. I know some of you have told me that January was a tough year, but you've made it through it. I'll amen that one. This is the meme of the week, though. This is the absolute best meme of the week. And maybe of the decade as it relates to America. But they did a poll this week and they said, are there too many illegal aliens in the United States? 22% said yes. 17% said no. 61% said no comprende. No comprende. No comprende. No comprende. Some of you will get that in a minute. Some of them will get that in a minute. No comprende. Patriots got it. Patriot got it. And all you ladies out there freaking out about the women driver jokes, if the shoe fits, wear it. That's all I got to say. If the shoe fits, wear it. If the shoe fits, wear it. But anyway, it was funny though. No more women drivers jokes. But no comprende. Meme of the year. Meme of the year right there. Good stuff. And Carol says I need to learn Spanish. Carol, I'll agree with you. You call a company, you ain't going to get an English-speaking person. I don't know where these folks are from, but it ain't never English. It says press 1 for English, and I'm like, we never get English. Are you kidding me? Goodness. All right. That's all I got tonight. No big deal tonight. Thank you all for being with us tonight. Good comments. These will get better as we go along. I've got the arsenal full for the weeks to come. Did you enjoy our first McFoolery? I didn't break any hats tonight out. I should have had hats, but I wasn't in a hat mood. But I will be. I will be again. And if you enjoyed it, put some fire in the house for me tonight. If you enjoyed this tonight, that is the meme of the decade right there. That was pretty good. Si, senor, Chris. And so forth. But we'll be back with some more McFoolery. And for those of you that have had a tough year, hang in there, baby. We got 11 months to go. Hang in there. It's going to get better. I should have brought a hat. I just should have brought a hat. Forgot my bear hat tonight. But next time, I'm going to have to get the dumb foolery shirt for these shows. Because as the McFoolery name insinuates, we will look at the dumb foolery of the wonderful nation we call America in a lighthearted way to make you laugh and to chill you out on a Friday night when we can do it. We may not do it every week, but we'll definitely do it once a month or twice a month. Did you enjoy this tonight? I actually did. Some good stuff in these memes. This Babylon Bee people, they good. They good. My friend Tony Branco is good too. I hope you enjoyed that show last night. Folks, I'll see you. We may do a gospel sing tomorrow night. Hadn't done one in a long time, so join us on the Faith Network tomorrow night for that. Sunday morning, Sunday night. Faith time Sunday. And then we get started again Monday. We got a beautiful week of shows. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss Teresa Baxter. Teresa's never been online before. Like, this is her first ever interview. Not just her McFiles debut, but Teresa's never done this publicly at all. But I felt led this morning. I reached out to her, and I really felt led. The Lord said, you need to get her on and talk about Mary Catherine's experiences as perspective from her daughter. And that's what we're going to do Monday night. And we're going to actually play an excerpt because some of you have never read Mary's book, A Divine Revelation of Hell. We're going to play about a 5 to 10 minute clip of her book that will rivet you to the bone. And I hope it does, because it riveted me to the bone this morning. And we're going to get a box of her books, because these are going to be our new tracks that we pass out. Anyway, I'll talk about more of that about that Monday night at 9 o'clock with Teresa Baxter. That'll be our next McFiles official broadcast. Got the Faith shows this weekend. You can find those on the E-Network and the Faith Network. All right. God bless you. God bless your families. And God bless this great nation of America. Put some thumbs up. Fire in the house for us if you enjoyed this tonight. I did. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe. Stay warm out there. And I'll see you when I see you. God bless. Good night. No comprende. No comprende.
It's knowing that your door is always open and your path is free to walk. It makes me tend to leave my sleeping bag rolled up and stashed behind your couch. It's knowing I'm not shackled by forgotten words and bonds and the ink stains that have dried upon some line. That keeps you in the back roads by the rivers of my memory. That keeps you ever gentle on my mind. It's not clinging to the rocks and ivy painted on their columns now that bind me. Or something that somebody said because they thought we'd fit together walking. It's not knowing that the world will not be cursing or forgiving when I walk around the railroad track and find that you're moving on the back roads by the rivers of my memory, and hours you're just gentle on my mind. Though the wheat fields and the clotheslines and the junkyards and the highways come between us, and some other woman's crying to her mother 'cause she turned and I was gone, I still might run in silence, tears of joy might stain my face, and the summer sun might burn me till I'm blind. But not to where I cannot see you walking on the back roads by the rivers flowing gentle on my mind. I dip my cup of soup back from a gurgling, crackling cauldron in some train yard. My beard a rustling towel and a dirty hat pulled low across my face. Through cup hands round the tin can, I pretend to hold you to my breast and find that you're waiting from the back roads by the rivers of my memories, ever smiling, ever gentle on my mind.
I'll give you a little bit more time to chit-chat out there. Enjoy it again. See you this weekend, folks. Have a good night, everybody.
It's knowing that your door is always open and your path is free to walk. It makes me tend to leave my sleeping bag rolled up and stashed behind your couch. It's knowing I'm not shackled by forgotten words and bonds and the ink stains that have dried upon some line. That keeps you in the back roads by the rivers of my memory. That keeps you ever gentle on my mind. It's not clinging to the rocks and ivy painted on their columns now that bind me. Something that somebody said because they thought we'd fit together walking. It's not knowing that the world will not be cursing or forgiving when I walk around the railroad track and find that you're moving on the back roads by the rivers of my memory, and hours you're just gentle on my mind. Though the wheat fields and the clotheslines and the junkyards and the highways come between us, and some other woman's crying to her mother 'cause she turned and I was gone, I still might run in silence, tears of joy might stain my face, and the summer sun might burn me till I'm blind. But not to where I cannot see you walking on the back roads by the rivers flowing gentle on my mind. I dip my cup of soup back from a gurgling, crackling cauldron in some train yard, my beard a rustling towel and a dirty hat pulled low across my face. Through cup hands round the tin can, I pretend to hold you to my breast and find that you're waiting from the back roads by the rivers of my memories, ever smiling, ever gentle on my mind.